स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome back to the study of Devi Mahatmyam or Durga Saptashati or Chandi. We were learning Seve Mahakalikam, Seve Mahakalikam. We have been learning to chant this verse many a times earlier because there was a gap of nearly 2.5 months or 3 months. Now we shall also go to the simple meaning of this verse, that is meditation of Mahakali. What is it telling? I resort to Mahakali, who has 10 faces, 10 legs, and holds in her hands the sword, disc, mace, arrows, bow, club, spear, missiles, human head and conch, who is three-eyed, adored with ornaments on all her limbs, and luminous like a blue jewel, and whom Brahma, that is the creator, Chaturmukha Brahma, extolled in order to destroy Madhu and Kaitaba, the demons, when Lord Vishnu was in Yoga Nidra, mystic sleep. Now, the simple meaning is this, but we had gone into the detail of this meaning, why Divine Mother Mahakali has 10 face, 10 legs and all that thing. I don't want to go into the details again because it is already there in the Prathamodhyayaha or the beginning of that. You can go back to those videos if you want that. But we shall go to the chanting of the verses in the Prathamodhyayaha. Today we will take up the 56th verse, though we had completed chanting the 56th verse, going to the meaning. From last class, it was from the 54th verse we had started our learning and known the meaning. But again, to start with the positive notes, we will begin it from, and also to maintain the continuity, we will begin chanting from the 56th verse. Now in the Prathamodhyayaha, in this book which you have, Devi Mahatmyam, it is on the 13th page, the 56th verse. Please chant this verse after me. Taya visrijyate vishvam, Taya visrijyate vishvam, Jagadetat characharam, Jagadetat characharam, Saisha prasanna varada, Saisha prasanna varada, Nrinam bhavati muktaye, Nrinam bhavati muktaye, Sa vidya parama mukter, Sa vidya parama mukter, Hetu bhuta sanatani, Hetu bhuta sanatani, Samsara bandha hetuscha, Samsara bandha hetuscha, Saiva sarveshvareshvari, Saiva Sarveshwareshwari. Though I had completed chanting this, learning to chant, and also the meaning of these verses, the 56th verse and the 57th and the 58th, I took it back again because it was on a positive note. What is that? Here it is told, Saisha Prasanna Varada. If this Divine Mother, that is Mahakali, if she becomes propitious, if you supplicate, try to please her, worship her, Saisha Prasanna Varada, she will become giver of the boon. Varada means, Vara means boon, Da means giver. Nrunam. Nru comes from the word Nara, means human beings. Nara exactly means man, but we should take it as here human beings. Nrunam, to the human beings, both men and women. Bhavati Muktaye will be the cause of their final liberation. If you surrender, if you worship her. Taya Visrajyate. That's why, with that note, Saisha Prasanna Varada, if the Divine Mother is pleased, you can get the highest liberation. So I started with this 56th verse. Taya Visrajyate Vishwam Jagadetat Characharam. So what is the meaning of this? She, that is the Divine Mother, creates this entire universe. What is that? Both moving and unmoving. Chara, achara. That means mobile and immobile. Chara, achara. Both moving. See, amongst the living beings, there are the mobile ones which are moving, and there are also living beings like plants and other things which are unmoving. That is, they are static, unmoving. So that is achara. So she creates this universe, both moving and unmoving. It is she who, when propitious, becomes a boon giver to human beings for their final liberation. She is the supreme knowledge. Sa Vidya. Parama, not ordinary knowledge, not ordinary wisdom. Sa Vidya Parama, the highest, the ultimate, the supreme knowledge. The cause of final liberation. Mukter Hetu Bhuta Sanatani. Now, when we get ordinary knowledge, ordinary wisdom, we get so much of joy, we get so much of many other benefits out of ordinary knowledge. As Swami Vivekananda used to tell, that knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So, what will be the power? What will be the highest benefit you can get if you gain the highest knowledge, the ultimate knowledge? So that's why here it is told, Sa Vidya, the Divine Mother is the ultimate knowledge, the highest knowledge. So she is also the highest power. If knowledge is power, so she is the highest power which you can imagine. Sa Vidya Parama. So what will be the benefit if we get that power? What is going to happen? Suppose we get knowledge of a motorbike, let us hope. Then you can, if there is any problem in the motorbike or a machinery or anything for that sake, if you have the knowledge of that thing, if there is a problem, you can maintain it, you can repair it, and again get it back to work. So you can control it. You have the control over that if you have the knowledge of that thing. So knowledge is power. If that is the case, if you have the ultimate knowledge, if you know the Divine Mother, if you realize the Divine Mother, if she is propitious, she is highest knowledge, she is highest power, what happens? What will be the benefit? Because we are human beings, we'll always think at the level of benefit. We want always something, gain, utility. I think in America there was one popular movement, utilitarians. So likewise, why we want, everybody wants some utility from something, whatever we get. So now if ordinary knowledge can give us power to control so many things, then what is the use of this highest knowledge, Savidya Parama, if you know that, if she is propitious? Mukte he hetu bhuta sanatani. You will get the mukti. What is the use of mukti? We don't want mukti. You know what is mukti? Mukti means highest freedom. Everyone, every animal, every being, even the microbes, everything, you try to bind it, they want freedom, they try to run away. You tie the dog in the house, it will be barking. Why? It wants freedom. You just put the children inside the room, they will be struggling and crying. Why? They want freedom. So everybody, you go and ask any youth, why don't you come to the temple? Why don't you come to the ashram? Why don't you go there? We don't want to go there. Why? We want freedom. Everybody will tell, we want freedom. So it so happened once, Ramakrishnaanandaji Maharaj, whose pre-monastic name was Shashibhushana Chakravarti. He was looking after the Ramakrishna movement in Chennai and South India. At the time, some youths came to him and he told, Swamiji, we don't want the do's and don'ts of your religion. Then what do you want, my child? Then that boy, that youth replied, we want freedom. Then the next question of Ramakrishnaanandaji, who was the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he asked that youth, my dear friend, what kind of freedom do you want? See, understand it. We are also thinking in this line. Every one of us too want freedom. But do you know what kind of freedom do we want? So now when asked, he was confused. He couldn't understand what was this question. We want freedom. Yeah. What kind of freedom do you want? Then Swamiji himself elaborated. He told, do you want freedom for the senses or freedom of the senses? See, understand it. What is the freedom we want? We all of us want freedom for our senses, our mind. Our senses want to go to the outside world. Through the senses, the mind want to rush to the outside world to get pleasure. It will be always, the mind will be trying to escape to the outer world to enjoy, to get some pleasures through the senses. So all the senses want freedom. They want to go out, behave as it is. While you are driving, the eyes, your senses, want to go to the dirty, advertisements on the big boards there of some deodorant or some scent. Somebody will be going there. When you see that, your mind get distracted, and while driving, if your mind wants freedom, then you will be having accidents. If you give freedom for the senses, then it will lead your life to accidents. It should be controlled. It should be under your control. That's why everywhere in all the temple, that too, especially in Puri Jagannatha, we celebrate the Jagannatha Rathayatra. What is that Rathayatra? Chariot. So Lord Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, driving the chariot. If the Lord is holding the reins of the horses are the five senses. So if the intelligence is held by the Lord, then your Atman, the Jivatman, is safe there. The Rathayatra indicates that. You should hand over your intelligence to the Lord. So likewise here, we all want freedom for the senses which are like these wild horses. You don't want to control it. Then it will lead you astray. Your life will be a mess. So that's why here the question was, do you want freedom for the senses? Yes, we all of us want freedom for the senses. That is what we want to. But here the next question was, do you want freedom of the senses? What is the meaning of the senses or of the mind? Means you become the master of your senses. You become the master of your mind. You control the sense. You control the mind. That is freedom of the senses, freedom of the mind. Now, freedom for the senses is we become the slaves of our senses and slaves of our mind. Freedom of the senses means we become the masters of our mind, we become the masters of our senses. That is the difference. So now, here mukti or liberation is the highest freedom, not the ordinary freedom. What did we get in 1994 in South Africa? Only political freedom. In India in 1947, only political freedom. What is the use? You have not got the freedom of the senses. So that is what here mukti, liberation means the highest freedom. Where you will be the master. Everything will be under your control. When you get the Divine Mother, the highest knowledge, Parama Vidya, then you will get the highest mukti, the highest freedom. You are the masters. You become one with God. Then you will have everything under your control. That is mukti. So, how can you deny telling that I don't want mukti? Can you anybody tell I don't want freedom? Can anybody tell I don't want to become the master of my mind, master of the senses? So that is the utility. That is the highest freedom. So, sa vidya parama muktehe hetu bhuta sanatani. She is sanatani. Now, we use the term for our Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. We call Hinduism by the term Sanatana Dharma. What is this Sanatana or Sanatani? Eternal, which doesn't have a beginning. If it doesn't have a beginning, then there will be no ending also. So that is Sanatana. Sanatani means she doesn't have a beginning. She is from the beginning of the time. There is no beginning at all. You can't use the term. Just for the sake of transaction, we have to use those terms, that's all. She is the origin of this creation. So where is the question of beginning or birth? So Sanatani. Samsara bandha hetuscha saiva sarveshwareshwari. What is the meaning? Beautiful meaning. She is the supreme knowledge, the cause of the final liberation, and she is eternal. She is the cause, and also you should remember, though she is the cause of liberation, she is also the cause of bondage. By her power, though we are Parabrahma Swarupa, see, I always used to make some statement. What is that? What is the greatness of the Divine Mother in giving us knowledge? Because that is our birthright. We are Parabrahma Swarupa. We are children of immortality. So what is the greatness of Mother giving our own knowledge back? What is the greatness of the Divine Mother? She has made the Parabrahma Swarupa to be a fool or to think that he is weak and cry and always having what you call this idea of inferiority complex. You are the emperors of this universe. By her delusion, she has created that you are weak, you are unable, you cannot do anything, limited, thinking that, oh, I am so weak. So, she is also the cause of bondage. So, her greatness is the most powerful Parabrahma is made to think he is weak, and we are all just crying. Self-pitying. We are self-pitying. Oh, I'm weak, I can't do anything, I can't face the exams, I can't face the challenges. Crying. So we are put into this bondage. So she is also the cause of bondage. Samsara bandha hetuscha saiva sarveshwareshwari. What is that Sarveshwareshwari? She is the cause of bondage of transmigration, and also she is the sovereign over all the lords. She is the empress of all the emperors. Sarva Ishvara Ishwari. Sarveshwareshwari. She is the empress of all the emperors. Sarveshwareshwari. So what beautiful meaning you see. Now, here, the supreme knowledge, the cause of final liberation. Now, when we hear that, we may not understand it properly. So, if you explain it with some examples, then you can get a beautiful thing out of it. Because we always have to connect with the present day. We should make it relevant. Then only it becomes more interesting. Isn't it? So, how to know this mother is a cause of liberation. She gives us, if she becomes Varada, she becomes propitious, she can give us liberation, because this scripture is telling, what did it tell? Sa prasanna Varada. What will happen according to this thing here? It is telling that she will give us liberation. Sa prasanna Varada, she will become the giver of boon, and she will give us the highest liberation. So we have to understand that. Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, our master, he came to this earth to show that our scriptures are true, our Sanatana Dharma is true. So that's why, with the help of the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we can understand many things. That's why we will take the example from the life of Sri Ramakrishna and understand this. Saisha prasanna varada nranam bhavati muktaye sa vidya parama mukter hetu bhuta sanatani. So we will see how she gives us liberation. Okay? Now let us go to the life of Sri Ramakrishna. What happened in the life of Sri Ramakrishna? We are told by the master of another extraordinary vision of his in Kashi or Varanasi. Many people take a trip on the Ganga by boat to see the 5 holy places like Manikarnika and other places there along the banks of Ganga. Accompanied by the master, Mathurnath Vishwas took a similar trip. The main burning ghat of Kashi is situated near Manikarnika. What is this? Why are they explaining about the burning ghat? Why should they go to the cremation ground? Why should they go to Kashi and Ramakrishna and other people to see the cremation ground? So they almost any given point of time, I go to Kashi every year almost, Varanasi. Last year also I was there. I go to visit this Manikarnika Ghat. So any given point of time, some 30, 40 dead bodies will be being burnt there. It will be always burning there, the cremation ground. There it will be always active, 25, 30, 40, something it will be there. So what is the speciality? Kashi or Varanasi is called Mahasmashana, a great cremation ground. What is the speciality? The scriptures tell, one who gives up his body, his life in Kashi, in Varanasi, will definitely get liberation by the grace of Lord Shiva. There is no doubt about it. So it is written in the Kashi Kanda or in our scriptures that anybody giving up body in Kashi, they will get liberation. So many people, especially Hindus, they go to Kashi just to give up their body there and die there, so that they will get liberation. So you may ask the question, so you do all sorts of sin in your life, do all sorts of things which should not be done, then you go and die, will you get liberation? Yes. You can. That is the greatness of Lord Shiva there. How did Lord Shiva get that power there? Let us see now. Now, that's why they go to see the Manikarnika Ghat. Why? Lord Shiva, what is he called? Smashana Vasi. He lives in the graveyard. And what is Kashi? His dwelling place, Mahasmashana. So, Mathur took with Ramakrishna, our master, a similar trip. The main burning ghat of Kashi is situated near Manikarnika. When Mathur's boat came to Manikarnika Ghat, it was seen to be full of smoke rising from the funeral pyres of the dead bodies that were being burnt there. As soon as he happened to cast his eyes in that direction, the master the embodiment of spiritual emotions, Adhyatmika Bhava, spiritual emotions, was completely besides himself with joy. Arre, you may wonder, will somebody be joyful when they see the burning of the pyre? Seeing the burning ghat, when you go there, your face will become so small and you will be sad and you will get the vairagya. It's called smashana vairagya. But here, the Bhava Murti, the king of all emotions, Bhava Samrajya Chakravarti, Sri Ramakrishna, when he saw that, was full of joy. Why? Let us go into his mind and see. Master was completely besides himself with joy, and the hairs of his body stood on end. He walked quickly out of the covered portion of the boat, stood on the very verge of the boat, and entered into the highest state of yoga, which is called Samadhi. The guides of Mathur, the boatmen and the members of the crew ran to catch hold of Sri Ramakrishna that lest he should fall down into the water and be carried away by the current. But that was not necessary, for he was seen to be standing calm and quiet, absolutely motionless, and wonderful light and smile illumined his face, making that whole place pure and effulgent as it were. Hriday and Mathur stood carefully beside Master. The crew stood at a distance and viewed the strange samadhi of Master with astonished eyes. When sometimes after the divine mood of Master came to an end. Now that is not important. The important thing is, after when Master went back to the place where he dwelled in Kashi, he told what was the vision he had. That is very important. Now, the Master then described his wonderful vision to Mathurnath, Vishwas and others there. He said, when I was going there in the boat and I saw towards that Manikarnika Ghat, the burning pyres, I saw, now it is time to meditate on that. What is that? I saw a tall, white person with tawny matted hair, walking with solemn steps to each pyre in the burning ghat, raising carefully every jiva, the living being which is being burnt there, the body. From that he is raising the living being, the jiva. Who is that tall? Can you compare? The explanation, whatever scriptures tell, all of you in South Africa, whenever you do Karpura Arati, you tell a shloka. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram. You think that is the mantra for Karpura Arati? No. It is the stotra of Lord Shiva, explanation of Lord Shiva. What is the meaning? Karpura Gauram. His body is white like that of camphor. Shiva's color is white like that of camphor. That's why Karpura Gauram. Karunavataram. Karuna, he is as if the mercy itself has taken a form. So that is Lord Shiva. That is the explanation. Karpura. Here, see, it is Master is seeing. See, that's why I tell Master has come down to show all our things in the scripture is true. So, what did he see? I saw a tall, white person with tawny matted hair. Jata Juta Chandra Mukuta. What is that? Yes, the hairs, locked hairs, matted hairs, Shiva. Tawny matted hair. See, Master is seeing that. Whatever is described in the scriptures, Master is seeing there. Matted hairs, locked matted hairs, tawny matted hairs. Tall person walking with solemn steps to each pyre in the burning ghat, raising carefully every jiva and imparting into his ear the mantra of Supreme Brahman. Targa Brahma Mantra Upadesha Shiva is doing in the ears of that living being. And what is happening on the other side? Now we will come to our topic, the Devi Mahatmyam. What is that? On the other side of the pyre, the all powerful Mahakali. That is all powerful. Sa Paramavidya, all powerful Mahakali was, what is she doing? Untying. What is she untying? All the knots of bondage. She has created the bondage here, it was told. Now she is untying all the bondages. Untying, we are bound by so many bondages, fetters to this world. Oh, what will other people think of me? I should go to the society like this. If I don't wear my dress like this, what is going to happen? What is going to happen if I don't do that? So many bondages are binding us. It's all illusory, it is all imaginary things. But we are bound by all these things and we suffer and suffer. Now, she's cutting asunder all that bondages. Have you heard in the everyday evening Arati, what do we sing? What is the first line? Khandana bhava bandhana. What is khandana? Cut asunder. Bhava bandhana, the bondages of all this world. That is Master. See, now the Mahakali, the all-powerful Mahakali, was untying all the knots of bondages, ordinary, gross bondage, subtle and causal of the jivas, produced by millions and millions of lives, past impressions, and sending them to the indivisible sphere. What is indivisible? The opposite of divisible. Khanda, akhanda parabrahma. Indivisible, where there is no division, where it is one. What is that? Turiya, parabrahma, your true nature. So, she is sending them to the indivisible sphere by opening with her own hands the door to liberation. Master is seeing this. And any proof of that? Yes, Shankaracharya's Annapurna Stotra will be chanting. Mokshadvara kapata patanakari. Shankaracharya is explained there. Who is she, Annapurneshwari? Mokshadvara, the door of liberation. Kapata patanakari. She has the lock and key. She is the one who controls the latch of the door of the liberation. Shankaracharya has also explained it here. Master is seeing that, having the vision in that samadhi. What is that? The Divine Mother is opening the door to liberation and sending the jiva into that indivisible sphere, liberation. The all-powerful Mahakali was untying all the knots of bondages, gross, subtle and causal, of the jivas, produced by past impressions, and sending them to the indivisible sphere by opening with her own hands the door to liberation. Thus did Lord Vishwanatha, the Divine Lord of the universe, endow the jiva, the living being, in an instant, with the infinite bliss of experiencing non-duality, Advaita Gnana, non-duality. In an instant, Lord Shiva is giving. Why? Because of Mahakali, the power of Mahakali. The infinite bliss of experiencing non-duality, that is liberation. That is highest liberation, mukti. Don't you want that? Don't you want that highest freedom? Which ordinarily results from the practice of yoga and austerity for many, many cycles. Not years, not lives. Many, many cycles if you do, you will get that by your self-effort. Sa vidya, sa prasanna varada. If she become propitious, she can grant you liberation. Which by our self-effort, we have to work out, we have to put our self-effort for cycles and cycles and cycles. Not lives, not years, cycles. So many cycles of Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga, like that. So many cycles, if you put the effort, you may or may not get the liberation. But if she becomes propitious, if the mother becomes Varada, she can give you that liberation in an instant. And Master had that vision in an instant. And what is he getting? The Divine Lord of the universe endows the Jiva in an instant with the infinite bliss of experiencing non-duality, which ordinarily results from the practice of yoga and austerity for many, many cycles. Thus did he bless the living being's Jiva with the fulfillment of the highest object of life. See, the scriptures are true. What the Durga Saptashati telling is true. See, now you can understand by comparing the life of Sri Ramakrishna. That's why we tell, read the life of Ramakrishna, then you can understand the scriptures more. Not that we want to make Ramakrishna our ideal as supreme or make him famous. No, that is not the intention. Yes, come back to Stapakaya cha dharmasya. To re-establish the dharma again, he has come. So now you can see all these words from the scriptures here. You could understand what it is telling. Sa vidya parama taya visrajyate vishvam jagadeta characharam saisha prasanna varada nrinam bhavati muktaye. Sa vidya parama mukter hetubhuta sanatani samsara bandha hetuscha Saiva Sarveshwareshwari. So, we have got the wonderful meaning with the example. We shall go to the next verses. What is that? Rajovacha. So, in Durga Saptashati, they consider the Chandi or Durga Saptashati or the Devi Mahatmyam so sacred by the votaries of the Divine Mother. Even if it is told Markandeya Vacha, that is also considered as mantra. Now, Rajo Vacha, that is also considered as mantra. So, in the Chandi Homa, when we do the Homa, if there is Markandeya Vacha, we have to tell Markandeya Vacha and give one Bilvapatra or the Havan, you have to put this thing there. That is also, that's so sacred that that is also considered as mantra. So, we have to chant Rajo Vacha, Rajo Vacha. See there, 59th verse, they have given that as 59th. The number is given there because that is also considered as mantra. Why did I take up this Durga Saptashati? Because every year during the Navaratri, on the 9th day, Navami, we do Chandi Homa. I see that the mantra chanted at that time, there will be so much of anomalies and mistakes. So that we can learn properly and chant it properly, I have taken up this and getting the meaning and also the chanting too. So, let us go to the 60th verse of the first chapter, Rajo Vacha. Bhagavan kahi sa Devi, Bhagavan kahi sa Devi, Mahamayeti yam bhavan, Mahamayeti yam bhavan, Braviti katham utpanna, Braviti katham utpanna, sa Karmasyascha kim dvija, sa karmasyascha kim dvija. See here, Rajo Vacha means the Raja or the king. He said, he asked the Guru there. Who is that? Medhas, the Rishi. Medha, the Guru there in the ashrama, is asking Sumedha, O Bhagavan, is addressing him as Bhagavan. Kahi sa Devi, who is this mother, divine mother? As all of you get the doubt. You have that doubts. You want to know about more about mother. That's why we are called Jignasu. Jignasa means Gnatum Icha. We want to know more. Likewise, Raja is asking, the king is asking the Guru there, Sumedhas. I want to know more about mother. Bhagavan, O Bhagavan, O Rishi. Kahi sa Devi, who is this mother? Mahamayeti, they call her as Mahamaya. We were now all describing about her. Yam Bhavan, Braviti, Katham Utpanna. How was she born? How did she come to this earth? Because we all think in our own way. The child will always think the whole world in the terms of chocolate and lozenge and gingerbread. Because for the child, it is all gingerbread everywhere, chocolates and sweets, Cadbury's and other. Likewise, we are children to this spiritual world. So now Raja is also asking, how is the mother born? We think the mother is born, the God, that she is eternal. So all such questions will come definitely for us too. Now like us, like in representing us, the king is asking the question, who is this mother? How was she born? Braviti katham utpanna sa karmasyascha kim dvija. Now, and this Raja is asking the Rishi the question. What is that? What is he asking? O Bhagavan. The king said, Venerable sir, who is this Devi whom you called Mahamaya? How did she come into being? How was she born? And what is her sphere of action, O Holy One? What constitutes her nature? What is her form? Wherefrom did she originate? And all that I wish to hear from you, you, O Supreme, among the knowers of Brahman, I want to know that. Further, the question goes on. The next verse is also the same like this question, the 61st verse. Yat prabhava cha sa devi, yat prabhava cha sa devi, yat swarupa yadudbhava, yat swarupa yadudbhava, tat sarvam shrotumichhami, tat sarvam shrotumichhami, tvatto brahmavidam vara, tvatto brahmavidam vara. Here he is addressing that Rishi or that Guru as Bhagavan or Bhagavan. Now, we also address God as Bhagavan. Here he is addressing this Rishi also as Bhagavan. How is that? So we should know what is the meaning of Bhagavan or Bhagavan. So why is it called? If somebody possesses the 6 qualities in opulence, in greatness, in perfectness, in fullness, if those 6 qualities are possessed by a person, he is addressed as Bhagavan. So what are the 6 qualities called? Bhaga. They are called Bhaga. So that Bhaga, those qualities in fullness, if you or anybody, she possesses it, she is called Bhagavati, or that person is called Bhagavan. So that's why here this Rishi is possessing that. So why I am telling is, you too can possess those beautiful qualities, then you too can be addressed as Bhagavan. You are also Bhagavan. There are so many other definitions for Bhagavan. Skanda Purana tells it in a different way. The Shiva Purana tells it in a different way. Now let us see what is told in Bhagavatam. The word Bhagavan implies that he or she possesses the 6 Bhaga or majesties. What is that first one? Aishwarya. The first quality or Bhaga is Aishwarya. What is that Aishwarya? Not only wealth, but omnipotence. Omnipotence. Aishwarya. Then what is the second Bhaga? Virya. What is this Virya? Is it just some courage or some strength? No. Potency of goodness. So, Yashas is the third Bhaga. What is Yashas? Sanctifying excellences. Then, what is the next Bhaga? Shri. What is the Shri? Beauty and attractiveness of form and spirit. Then, what is the next one? Next Bhaga quality? Gnana. Omniscience. Knows everything, all the knowledge. Gnana. And what is the last, the 6th Bhaga? You'll be surprised. Vairagya. Renunciation. You will have all the wealth, but you are not attached to it at all. See what a contrasting thing. You will have everything, the power, the wealth and everything, but you are not attached to it. Vairagya. You should know where to eat or have and enjoy and where to stop. The problem with us is we will start, but we cannot stop. Or we will get too much attached, we can't come out of it. So not only we should have the strength of focusing and concentrating, we should also have, Vivekananda tells in meditation, the strength of detaching from that and coming out of it. That's also very important. That's why here, what is the last bhaga? If somebody has to be called as Bhagavan, the last one is Vairagya, renunciation, non-attachment in all cosmic activities. So if anybody has that, he can be called as Bhagavan. So why is it told, oh, we will call only God as Bhagavan? No, I am explaining this, otherwise I would have not explained it, because what is the use of you thinking about Bhagavan? Not only we should worship Bhagavan, we should also become one with Bhagavan. You should have these qualities. Why do we worship? Why do we meditate? Why do we do puja of God? Why do we meditate on God? Because it is law of diffusion. What is law of diffusion? The law of diffusion is flow of something from higher concentration to lower concentration. So if you meditate on God, if you meditate puja of God, when you do the bhajans, those qualities of God will start diffusing to you. Law of diffusion or osmosis. From higher concentration to lower concentration, it will flow. That's why we meditate on God. That's why we do puja of God. That's why we do the service of God. Why? Because we want all those qualities which Lord have. Finally, what would be the extent to get that quality? You become one with God. That is the highest thing. That's the reason why I explained. Otherwise, I would have just told those 6 qualities and gone off. So here, this Rishi is like God, like they will tell he is a God-like personality. He's God himself. Why do we call Guru as Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha? Because he has all that qualities. He's considered to be like God. Not like God, God himself. That's why the Rishi is addressed as Bhagavan. Bhagavan. He's addressing him as Bhagavan. So again we may forget it and go away. Why am I again and again telling that worshipping God, spirituality means you should get all those wonderful qualities in yourself. You should become God. You know what is the goal of puja? The goal of puja is, there is a statement, Devam Bhutva Devam Yajet. You should become God, then only you can worship God. Devam Bhutva. You should become God-like, and then only you can worship God. You get the authority to worship God. That is the basics of puja. So, now, Bhagavan, Kahisa Devi, Mahamayetiyam Bhavan. So, all that thing. Then in the last it is told, Karmasyasya Kim Dvija. Again, that person is addressed as, first they addressed him as Bhagavan. In the last, in that very verse, it is addressed as Dvija. What is the meaning of Dvija? So some people write it as Brahmana. A person who is born in the caste of Brahmana is called Dvija. No, that is not the meaning. The meaning of Dvija means twice born. Dvi means two. Ja means birth. Twice born. How can we be born twice? Now, the first birth is in the womb of the mother. That is the first birth. So when we are born to the world of knowledge, that is our second birth. When we start our life in spirituality, getting the knowledge of God, then when we get the mantra diksha, we are born again into the world of spirituality. That's why they are called twice born. So the Brahmanas, in that they would get to study the Vedas, knowledge of God. So when they start studying the Vedas, they were called Dvija. So if you start getting the knowledge of God, if you enter into spiritual world, get the mantra diksha, start meditating on God, reading the books of God, then you too become twice born. That's called Dvija. So here is addressed as Dvija. That's why. Okay. Now going forward, Yat Prabhava Sa Cha Sa Devi Yat Swarupa Yadudbhava. Now here Swarupa means we will generally take as form. Rupa is form. Swarupa means your real nature. What is the real nature? I don't want just form with so many hands, so many things. What is her form? Real form. What is she? That's what I want to know. So that is why he is asking, I want to know her Swarupa, Yadudbhava. How did she manifest? See what beautiful questions. This should come in our heart too. That's called Jignasa. Tat sarvam shrotumichami. All that I want to know from you. Tvatto Brahmavidam. So nobody else can give me. You are the best among the knowers of Brahman. Brahmavidam Vara. Vara means the highest. Brahmavidam Vara. So that is told Rajo Vacha. Now when he asks this question in the 63rd verse, it is Rishiruvacha. Rishiruvacha means the Rishi or that Sumedha, that Rishi is telling now about, he starts telling about Mahakali or the Divine Mother. What is that? Nityaiva sa Jaganmurtihi. Nityaiva sa Jaganmurtihi. Taya sarvamidam tatam. Taya sarvamidam tatam. Tathapi tat samutpattir. Tathapi tat samutpattir. Bahuda shruyatam mama. Bahuda shruyatam mama. Devanam karya siddhyartham. Devanam karya siddhyartham. Avirbhavati sa yada. Avirbhavati sa yada. Utpanne